Shut the fuck up. No. Don't do it. Don't do it. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Ryan here. Hope you guys are doing okay. Today we're going to be reacting to the 8th episode of 4 Minutes. I completely forgot that this series only had 8 episodes. I needed more time. I wasn't ready. I wasn't prepared. I completely forgot how short this series was. We'll see how they end up wrapping everything up, how they end up tying up any loose ends and resolving any type of confusions that I may have. So we shall see. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your time. Before we start, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you won't miss my next video. Let's not waste any more time. Let's go ahead and start. Who's this?
มันไม่ใช่มะเร็งใช่ไหมคะหมอ
Hey.
ก้อนเนื้อมีความนิ่มนะครับกดไม่เจ็บแล้วก็มีขนาดเล็กด้วยทำให้คิดถึงมะเร็งน้อยครับแต่ยังไงหมอจะส่งชิ้นเนื้อตรวจเพื่อยืนยันอยู่ดีครับ
ก็ยังชั่วหน่อยพอดีเมื่อเดือนที่แล้วสามีป้าเสียเพราะมะเร็งป้าก็เลยกลัว
เสียใจด้วยนะครับเข้าใจได้เลยครับว่าทำไมคุณสุนทรีถึงกังวล
ขอบคุณค่ะหมอหมอใจดีมากๆเลยค่ะ
Yes, he is.
เดี๋ยวคุณสุนทรีเอาใบนี้ไปยื่นที่พยาบาลหน้าห้องนะครับแล้วก็รอรับใบนัดผ่าตัดได้เลยครับ
ขอบคุณหมอมากๆค่ะ
Oh, that's right. So this is, he's within that. Does he know this? Is he aware that he's in this
คนได้คนต่อไปเชิญครับ
space? Oh, this is the surgeon.
เย็นแล้วคนไข้หมดหรือยังถามพี่ขอคุยด้วยแป๊บนึงสิ
ได้ครับ
Shit. So now he's going through it. I'm getting chills. I can't believe this is the final episode. Jes and Bible, I'm gonna miss you both. Give me some time. Give me some more time. Ay. Shit.
พี่พึ่งคนไข้หมดหรือยังครับ
ตอนนี้หมดแล้วค่ะ มีคิวอีกทีรอบบ่าย
โอเคงั้นผมขอไปกินข้าวก่อนนะครับตอนบ่ายผมมีเข้าOR
ได้ค่ะหมอ
Oh.
เดี๋ยวนี้คุณหมอว่างไหม
Oh, Grandma.
ไม่แม่ผมนอนได้ไหม
He brought him home.
ฝีมือยังเหมือนเดิมเลยลูก
มันไม่แข็งไป
ไม่ใช่
This is so cute.
กระเด็นจริง
What is this? Hi, kitty.
ยี่น่ะเหรอเฮ้ยหิวไหม
You're so cute. The cute's a big kitty. Yes. Damn. Underwater kiss. I know this song. Is this Jeff's song? Wait, who's singing? What's happening? Broken Bush. Oh my god, I'm so happy. What is happening? Is it Jeff singing? Jes, I mean. And I got come on! Oh, this is so beautiful.
ไม่อยากไปเข้าเวรเลยอะ
ง่ายจะตาย ก็ไม่ต้องเข้า
นี่จะเป็นแฟนหมอเข้าใจงานหมอหน่อยสิ
ล้อเล่นน่ะมันต้องดูเลยไปเข้าน้ำก่อนนะพี่
Huh?
ไอ้ทาม เด็ก
กลับมาได้แล้ว นั่นมันไม่ใช่ความจริง
It's not. Huh? Whose voice is that?
ถ้ามึงออกมาไม่ได้มึงจะตาย อย่าปล่อยให้เวลาครบ4 นาทีเด็ดขาด
What the fuck?
ไม่ใช่ความจริงนั่นหรอ
Oh shit.
มึงอยู่มาเนี่ยไอ้ทาม
Now he remembers what happened to him. Don't go to the light! Don't go to the light! Don't do it. Don't do it.
เล็กแกได้ยินพี่ไหมเล็กเล็กแกได้ยินพี่ไหมเล็ก
Which one is it? Is it here or when Tonkla shot him? Looks like it. How'd they find him? I'm glad that they did. This bitch.
ป้าคุณคุยกับพ่อผมหรือยัง
พ่อบอกว่าไม่มีอะไรต้องคุยแล้วนะคะ
พ่อคุณน่าจะเคลียร์ได้นี่แค่ออกมาบอกว่าหลักฐานพวกนั้นเป็นหลักฐานปลอมก็ได้
ธุรกิจมันเสียหายจนกว่าจะแก้แล้วล่ะค่ะ พ่อป๋าก็คงทำได้แค่จัดการเก็บกวาดให้เรียบร้อยอะจริงๆคุณเองก็น่าจะรีบหนีออกไปเหมือนพ่อแม่คุณนะ
จะให้ผมไปได้ยังไง น้องชายผมถูกยิงยังจับตัวคนร้ายไม่ได้ ตอนนี้ผมกำลังจะทำให้ทุกอย่างกลับมาเป็นเหมือนเดิม
She don't care.
เหมือนเดิมไม่ได้แล้วล่ะค่ะ
นี่คุณไม่รักผมเลยเหรอ
Of course she doesn't.
แล้วคุณนะคะ เคยรักฟ้าบ้างหรือเปล่า
Fair enough.
ตอนนี้คุณไม่มีประโยชน์อะไรกับฟ้าแล้ว อยู่ด้วยกันจะทำให้ฟ้ากับพ่อยิ่งเดือดร้อนเชิญออกไปได้แล้วค่ะ
ฟ้า
ออกไปได้แล้วค่ะถ้าคุณไม่ไปอะฟ้าจะให้ลูกน้องมาพาคุณออกไป
She never really gave a shit about you. Damn, she looks rich. Oh, the room that his dad told him about. And the phone, right? Damn. And money. Use some of that. The phone's still working? I forgot it's a Galaxy phone. With who?
ผมรู้ว่าใครฆ่าพ่อคุณ
ผมคิดว่าแรงจูงใจน่าจะเกิดจากการล้างแค้นครับ นายต้นกล้าน่าจะเข้าใจว่านายไตเติ้ลเป็นคนลงมือฆ่าโด ก็เลยออกตามล่าด้วยตัวเอง แล้วก็จัดฉากฆาตกรรมให้เหมือนกับที่น้องชายตัวเองโดนครับ ซึ่งผมไม่แน่ใจว่านายต้นกล้ารู้รายละเอียดพวกนี้ได้ยังไงคดีนี้เป็นคดีใหญ่และก็สำคัญมาก ผมอยากให้พวกเราทุกคนเร่งวางแผนและจับกุมมาให้ได้เร็วที่สุด
I like his hair slicked back. He got you blocked.
ความคืบหน้าของคดีฆาตกรรมลูกชายในคนที่ริมบึงน้ำนะครับล่าสุดทางเจ้าหน้าที่ตำรวจได้หลักฐาน DNA และรอยนิ้วมือที่ปรากฏบนก้อนหินซึ่งคาดว่าน่าจะเป็นอาวุธสังหารนะครับซึ่งตรงกับรอยนิ้วมือของนายอนุวัฒน์วรินทร์เดชหรือนายต้นกล้า
What are you gonna do?
Be gone!
ใช่ไหมเห็นแล้วฆ่าคนแก้แค้นให้โดมใช่ไหมพี่ขอโทษนะพี่กาพี่ขอโทษที่ไม่ได้อยู่ช่วยตอนที่โดมตายต้นกล้าไม่ต้องกลัวนะพี่จะพาต้นกล้าหนีเอง
นะครับสารวัตรครับมีคนรายงานมาว่าพบนายต้นกล้าอยู่ที่ร้านขายของในตลาดครับผมดูกล้องวงจรปิดที่ร้านมีชายคนเหมือนกำลังจะช่วยเหลือนายต้นกล้าหลบหนีครับนี่ครับ
What now?
สวัสดีครับปอย29ได้เลยครับ2012 15พื้นที่หน้าสอนอได้เลย28
Uh-oh. What are you gonna do?
รอนนี้นะต้นกล้า
คนของพี่กำลังจะมารับแล้วเราก็จะปลอดภัยต้นกล้าไม่ต้องกลัวนะ
Tonkla needs a lot of help. He looks. Ay, those are not your guys.
ต้นกล้าเก็บของตำรวจมาต้นกล้าลุกเก็บของไปออกไปดิออกไปต้นกล้าไปนี่ไปเลยไป
สารวัตรครับภารกิจล้มเหลวครับนายกรกับนายต้นกล้าถูกยิงไปทางสะพานหลังของมันครับ
He's gonna let him escape.
รับทราบเดี๋ยวผมแยกไปอีกทาง
ไปต้นกล้าไปเฮ้ย
Looks familiar.
ไปหยุดต้นกล้ามอบตัวเถอะคุณเป็นหวังในตัวผมใช่ไหมก็เลยทำแบบนั้นไปอ่ะ
แล้วคุณทำตามที่สัญญากับผมไว้ไม่ได้อะ
ผมขอโทษ มันไม่ง่ายคุณก็รู้
ง่ายดิผมทำสำเร็จและเร็วกว่าคุณด้วย
Mm.
ไอ้2ตัวนั้นน่ะมันได้ชดใช้แล้ว
Oh.
มันคืออะไรอะต้นกล้า2
He
ตัว
shot
นั้น
his
คืออะไร
brother. Fuck.
คนที่ฆ่าโดนเป็นคนอะคือเกรดแต่คนที่ยิงเกรดอะก็คือผม
Fuck. I forgot. Fuck.
แล้วช่วงที่พี่ไม่อยู่อะผมก็นอกใจพี่
Shit. Might as well. We're already here. Let it all out. No. Wow. That's a fucked up situation. Don't do it. Don't do it.
เราหนีไปอยู่ด้วยกันเถอะพี่หมายถึงตอนนี้เหรอใช่ตอนนี้เลยพี่ไม่กลัวเลยนะพี่แค่อยากอยู่กับต้นกล้าตลอดไป
The same position. Wow.
ยะถาวริวหาปุราปริปุเรนติสาคารังเอวะเมวะอิโตทินังเปตานังอุปกปปิติอิติตังปฏิตังตุมหังคิปะเมวะสมิจฉันตุสัพเพปเรนตุสังกปาจันโทปนาราโสยะถามณิโชติราโสยะถาสัพพิทิโยวิวัชชันตุสัพพโรโควินัสสตุมาเตภวัตวันตรายโยสุขีทีฆายุโกภวะอภิวาทนาสีริสนิจังวุธาปรัจญายิโนจัตตารโอธรรมาวันตันติอายุ
So he made it out. He's alive. So he's back in the real timeline. Hold on, I'm a fucking mess. Wow. I felt I did not expect that part. For both Tonkla and Korn to go and in the same position in a completely different circumstance. Stop thinking about Korn and Tonkla. You know, they were like I don't know why, but it just made me like super sad because, you know, they were making promises to each other. They had these plans for the future together, and then for all of that to just come full circle, but in such a tragic way, you know. It's sad.
Great. เดี๋ยวพี่จัดการให้นะ
So he made it.
คิดไปเลยผมเลิกให้พี่แล้วนะพี่ไม่ต้องห่วงผมนะมีความสุขกับคนที่พี่รักนะหมอทาม welcome back
อะไรนี่ยังทำไม่เสร็จอีกเหรอ
ก็รอสัมภาษณ์มึงกับเกสเพิ่มอยู่นี่ครับซัมเมอร์ไซส์ไม่ได้เพิ่ม สวัสดีครับพี่เกสพี่ชื่อหมอเดนนะครับ
หมอเดน
ห้ามผัวนะ เดนที่แบบว่าเดนทิสอะพ่อแม่พี่อยากให้พี่เป็นหมอฟันมากกว่า
ครับ
มึงก็ไร้สาระไปเรื่อย
Look what I knew it this is it
ขอโทษค่ะนึกว่าเดนตรวจเสร็จแล้ว
ไม่เป็นไร ไม่เป็นไรเธอมานี่ก่อนมานี่ก่อนมานี่ก่อนไปนั่งก่อนเลยนั่งก่อนนั่งก่อนมานั่งก่อนทุกคนครับ นี่ลูกว่า
My girlfriend
ชื่อเต็มว่า
ไม่ได้
ลูกว่าที่รัก
I knew it
กูหายไปแค่2 เดือนมึงมีแฟนเลยเหรอ
คุณหล่อนี่หว่า ว่าคะเดี๋ยวเขาขอสัมภาษณ์เพื่อนอีก2 คนแล้วเสร็จแล้วเดี๋ยวค่อยไปกินข้าวนะฮะ
โอเคค่ะ
She recognizes him
เคยเจอกันเหรอ
ที่นิทรรศการศิลปะ
ใช่ครับ
สมองเป็นอวัยวะที่ต้องการออกซิเจนอย่างต่อเนื่อง
คุณเดินขึ้นไปอยู่เชื่อแล้วมันอยู่ไหนวะ ก็กูขึ้นมาแล้วเนี่ย ไปต่อไอ้เชี่ยต้นร้านอะไรมีบันไดเยอะขนาดนี้วะ
นี่คือระยะเวลาที่สมองสามารถทนต่อการขาดออกซิเจนได้
เดี๋ยวเขาประตูเลยใช่ไหมกูเห็นแล้ว โอเค แค่นี้นะ
เกิดอะไรขึ้นกับการรับรู้ของเราในช่วงเวลานี้ เราอาจจะพาไปเห็นถึงความรู้สึกผิดบาปการตัดสินใจที่ผิดพลาด เราอาจจะยังตัดสินใจใหม่เพื่อแก้ไขความผิดพลาดนั้น เพื่อที่สุดท้ายที่สุขสงบ ฉันจะให้ความสามารถในการมองเห็นอนาคต4 นาทีให้กับคุณ
Who's talking? Did he shoot him? Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't. Shit. Karma.
วัสดีครับหมอช้าง
Don't do that. Oh, okay, he didn't. God, scared the shit out of me. I'm like, I mean, I would understand why he would unplug it.
ผมประเมินแล้วว่าคุณจะรอดแต่คุณจะพิการจนคนอื่นต้องเช็ดขี้เช็ดเยี่ยวคุณไปตลอดชีวิต
Oh, that's a punishment. Permanently disabled.
แล้วมึงไปรู้จักที่นี่ใน4 นาทีได้ไง
Shut the fuck up. No. You can't be doing this late. 3 minutes left. What the fuck is going on? Okay. Okay. Don't do that to me. Don't do it. Okay, so we're good, right? This is real life.
แต่คุณยังไม่ออกมาเลย อะไรอะไร
That's a cool shot. It kind of reminds me of that one shot with Milo and Appo in King Porsche. This song. I can't believe it's over. So it looks like Tyme relives some parts of his past and maybe corrected some of the mistakes he's made. They didn't really show him time travel, but it was pretty much implied. And his interaction with his girl this time around was much more productive and healthier than their initial breakup. And it looks like he might have initially declined the offer to become a surgical professor at his hospital, but given that this 4-minute thing allows them to go back at a specific point of their life or point of their past and correct certain things or make better decisions, I'm going to assume that he initially declined the offer. And Tyme spent so much time with Great here. They shared a lot of intimate moments. He even brought him home to Grandma. It was so nice to see Grandma smiling and laughing with them and just having a great time, because in real life, Grandma just looked so sad and worried and afraid, not for herself necessarily, but for Tyme. So it was nice to see her here happy and more relaxed. I know even though this is just all made up and it's not real. But again, to see grandma in that state was very refreshing. But sadly or luckily for Tyme, depending on how you look at it, all these things that are seemingly amazing that's happening in Tyme's life had to come to an end. All of a sudden, Tyme hears Dan's voice telling him that all these things are not real, that he had to come back to reality. It turns out that Dr. Dan was actually actively performing CPR, trying to revive Tyme after he had just gotten shot. And I remember Lukwa mentioning some episodes ago that while she was in that state where her heart stopped and she was reliving her past and making better decisions and fixing mistakes, that she heard her ex-boyfriend's voice, and that voice was actually what prompted her to pretty much snap out of that state. So it was really interesting that it was Dr. Dan's voice that he heard as opposed to Great's, which would make sense because I'm sure during this time Great was also in the hospital, also fighting for his life. So I was so relieved that both Great and Tyme made it. Who also made it, at least for now, is Warren. So Warren ends up being admitted to, out of all places, to Tyme's hospital. Warren landed right back to Tyme's hands. If that isn't karma, I don't know what is. Tyme could have easily ended Warren right there. But no, that's too easy. That's too easy. That's a cop-out. He pretty much wants him to wish he was dead. I mean, it is dark, but I can't blame Tyme. As he's mentioned, he's assessed his prognosis, his ability to survive, and he's determined that Warren can still live just enough to feel pain, suffering, maybe shame and regret and think about what he's done. He can still live, but he wouldn't be able to do shit for himself. He would have to depend on other people to wipe his ass for him, to shove food down his throat. He's pretty much disabled for the rest of his life, and his survival will be depending on the people around him. It was so interesting to see Warren's evolution from having so much control of everything and everyone around him to losing all of those abilities and even losing his ability to control his bowel movements, it seems. That is sad. And I think the worst part for Warren was it seems like he's still mentally there, but physically he's pretty much fucked. He can't do shit for himself. That must have been satisfying for Tyme to see the person who took out his entire family and almost took him out also, to see him in that state, you know? And again, he could have easily just ended Warren there and cut off his oxygen supply, but no, he wanted him to suffer a very painful and slow death while being an inconvenience to those around him. And I think that's a much harsher punishment for Warren. All the terrible things that Warren had done to those around him had finally caught up with him. And it looks like, although I might be mistaken on this, but it looks like Mr. Wanchai's family might have done that to Warren, right? Because it looks like Khan called Mr. Wanchai's daughter and pretty much told her that he knew who killed her father. So I'm thinking that was Warren. So he kind of led Mr. Wanchai's people to Warren's whereabouts. And that's how they tracked him down and pretty much tortured him, right? Or was it Tyme that did that? I just don't think that Tyme would do that. Although he's very much capable of doing that, but I don't think it was Tyme, right? I don't know. But I'm glad that Great made it. He survived. Can you just imagine if he didn't? I mean, Tyme would be even more devastated. But I'm glad he made it. And it seems like he's learned a lot from his near-death experience. He's now taking responsibilities for his actions. He's making better decisions. It looks like accountability is a really big thing for Great now. He's making decisions while keeping in mind the impact of his decisions on others. And again, accountability and responsibility seem to be a big thing for him now. And as much as he wanted to see his parents again back in Thailand, he recognized the danger that they pose to other people if they came back, because he knew that his parents' resources had been depleted, and he knew that in order for his parents to survive, they would have to revert back to doing what they knew best, which was to get themselves involved in illegal activities. So he wanted to eliminate that altogether, so he decided to not have his parents back. And I thought that was a smart move on Great's part, because by doing so, he protected his family, he protected the public, he essentially prevented the rise of another illegal gambling empire. And he's also eliminated a huge amount of money out of the circulation. But I'm hoping that the police department are not pocketing the money, or they're not lining their pockets with the money that's been turned into them. But knowing what we know about this police department, it's safe to say that that money is somehow going to make its way back to the circulation, because the police department seemed to be very corrupt. And on top of that, he was also able to eliminate a high-ranking, very corrupt politician out of the equation. So that was a win-win for Great. And he also finally got to meet Luke here. I had been waiting for their meeting for so long, although I was kind of disappointed in Luke's role here. I don't know, maybe it's just me. I think I expected so much from her character. I really thought they were gonna have this lengthy, meaningful conversation, sharing their experiences with each other while they were in that state, because the build-up of their meeting to me was so exciting, but then when they finally met, it kind of didn't go anywhere. So it turns out that they've actually met in the past, and they actually met in that room that they've been showing us, and I thought that room was some sort of alternate dimension, but I guess that room turned out to be an art exhibit room where they accidentally meet each other. Luke was actually there for the show, and Great was somehow lost trying to look for this speakeasy type of bar on the phone with his buddy, and he just somehow stumbled upon this room, and that was kind of it. Although it was really interesting that the art exhibition was about what happens to our consciousness while, you know, we're in that state. I guess I just expected too much from this meeting that I was ultimately disappointed by what transpired, but whatever. But I am very impressed by Luke's boldness and her ability to just go for it. You know, she recognized who she liked. She went for Dr. Den in her cute little ways, you know, bringing heart-shaped cookies and whatnot, but she knew what she was doing. She knew who she wanted, and she just went for it, again, in her cute little ways. And I think she might have been motivated by her experience while she was in that state. So she probably realized that life is short, and, you know, there's no time to be beating around the bush. So I'm not mad at her, but I felt so bad for Korn here. I mean, he just seemed to have gotten the shorter end of the stick. Even when things seemed to be in shambles and shit hitting the fan, Korn was actively still trying to do damage control. But sadly, the damage was just beyond repair, and by him trying to still fix it probably just further complicate things. And I think that's how Fa saw it. That's why she told him to leave, because she probably saw him as becoming more and more of a liability than an asset, and to her, he serves no more purpose. So she just said, you need to go. And that was really cold, because she went from marry me to get the fuck out. But sadly, that's the nature of their business, and love was never involved. And when everyone seems to have turned their backs on Korn ended up looking for Tonkla. And during this time, he's just barely finding out about what Tonkla has done to Tidal. Even without knowledge, he was still willing to help Tonkla escape and even clear his name. Unfortunately, Korn's resources have been exhausted, and he's no longer had the ability to do all those things that he said he was gonna do for Tonkla. He's so depleted in every sense of the word that he is in no position to be helping anybody out, especially Tonkla, considering the gravity of what he's done. And this is even before he realized what else Tonkla has done. Yikes. And when the cops finally caught up to them, they still tried to make a run for it, but they didn't get very far. They were cornered. That scene between the three of them was just heartbreaking. Win trying to urge Tonkla to surrender to avoid further complicating things for him and for everyone. Win still cares about Tonkla and really spent so much of his time and energy to try to help Tonkla identify the killers of his brother, even though he's already taken off the case. But unfortunately, Tonkla grew impatient and decided to take matters into his own hands, which unfortunately again led him to this mess. And I feel like Tonkla felt let down by both Win and Korn. Let down by Win because maybe he didn't meet his expectations, or he didn't really fulfill what he said he was going to do, at least not fast enough for him. And for Korn, he's disappointed in Korn for many things. He probably felt abandoned by Korn when Korn decided to spend more time with his family business, which obviously led him to not be around so much, especially during Tonkla's toughest times when his brother died, and also not fulfilling his promise to him to properly introduce him as his boyfriend. So he's got a lot of built-up resentment towards Korn. And you couple that with Tonkla's very troubled past, you know, his history of violence, history of abuse, and having to fend for himself and for his younger brother at a very very young age, and it was clear that Tonkla wasn't doing so well mentally, and he also didn't get the proper help that he needed. So all these terrible things that he's experienced just kind of over time piled up, and one day, you know, he's just had enough and he was left to his own devices and ended up making some of the worst decisions he could have ever made. Again, decided to take matters into his own hands and dealt with his problems the only way he knew how. He resorted to violence. And this is a learned behavior. This is something he's learned, he's a witness at a very young age in his own household from the people that are supposed to protect him, his father. He has learned at a young age that one way to effectively and quickly eliminate your problem is through violence, and his father was an expert at this. I felt so bad for Tonkla. He had such a short and troubled life. Wherever he is now, I'm hoping that he's no longer suffering. Again, I felt so bad for Korn. His loyalty to his family and his dedication to their business really led him to this point. He thought that by dedicating so much of his time taking care of their business, that their family would continue to thrive. He was made to believe that the survival of his family was largely dependent on his ability to run their business. So he probably felt this huge sense of responsibility and pressure that his family had placed on him. So I felt like he had to prove that he is up for the job. And that scene when he first realized what else Tonkla has done while he was away, and also realizing that Tonkla is also responsible for what happened to his brother Great, that whole scene was so intense. That must have felt like the entire world came crashing down on him. He was just in disbelief. I can't even imagine how overwhelming that must have felt. On top of everything else that's happening, now you're being presented with this new bombshell. Just the disbelief and anger and feeling of betrayal during that very moment must have felt so intense. And when he reached for that gun, I kind of knew that it was over. It was over. That was his last resort. At that point, I felt like he just wanted to end his suffering and just really wanted a way out. You know, there's no more Tonkla, there's no more family as he knew it, there's no more business to run. To him, it must have felt like nothing left that's worth living for. Why am I here still, you know? And when they cut to the flashback right before he pulled the trigger, I lost it. I lost it. It was so heartbreaking. Oh my God. When they were laying down in that same position, when lives were so much simpler, they were so in love with each other. They had so much planned for the future. Promises were made. Life was good. Significantly better than how things are turning out now. But sadly and tragically, it was ultimately money, lust for power, and greed that really destroyed them and the relationship. And it's not necessarily them that were craving those, but the people that they were surrounded by. And Korn and Tonkla weren't bad people. Although they have made some horrific and terrible stuff along the way, I'm not making excuses for those, but originally they weren't like that. They found themselves making those decisions as a result of them ultimately really being victims of the system. Although I recognize that they're adults, they have the ability to assess and make better decisions, but I felt like being in that environment, being so deep in that system, I think it makes it even harder to make sound decisions. And I think that's what happened to both Tonkla and Korn. They were victims of the system. Again, I'm not making any excuses for all the terrible things that they've done, but I just feel bad for both of them because they really started off as good people. In the end, everybody lost between Tonkla, Win, and Korn. It was a tragic end, but I have to say, Boss's acting was such a standout. I must have seen this particular scene at least 5 times while I was writing my commentary and editing this video, but I still managed to cry every single time this scene comes up. He was so good in this scene. I mean, in the entire series, but this particular scene, I felt his pain. The silence of his cry initially was deafening. His portrayal of this character was so compelling, was so moving. I am very impressed. Overall, I actually like this series. For the most part, it met my expectations, although there are minor things that kind of disappointed me, but again, they're minor. They didn't really move the needle. I love that Great and Tyme finally got their happy ending. There's a minor scare in the end, but of course I had to throw that in there. But overall, Happy ending, loved it. I'm glad that I was able to see Bible again because I've missed this man so much. And I'm also glad that I've been introduced to my newest boyfriend, Jes. Where have you been? And this entire cast, this entire ensemble was fantastic, especially Boss. He was such a standout. I loved him. I have to see more of him in the future. I also hope to see Bible and Jes in future projects. I know that they had a short film that came out earlier this year. I think I might have to check that out. And I love the little nod to Ken Porsche with some of the shots that they've done in this episode, and also Jeff's song. One of my favorite songs was featured, although it was, I believe it was Jes who sang it, or somebody else sang it, it wasn't Jeff, but still, Stay is such a beautiful song, and the fact that it was incorporated here was just icing on cake. I mean, couldn't ask for more. What do you think of this episode? What do you think of this entire series as a whole? Let me know in the comment section down below. Now that I finished the series, thank you for being patient, by the way. What to expect from our channel? Well, I'm gonna be finishing up Unknown, and after that I'll be resuming One Day Good Day, and then after that I'll be resuming I Feel Linger and Love Sea, and then I believe, oh my god, I'm really embarrassed to say this, but I haven't finished Cherry Magic, the Thai version. But I thank you for being so patient. Thank you so much for understanding. As most of you know, I have a busy life outside of YouTube, and that's just what happens when you're poor, but that's okay. Nothing wrong with being poor. I was just working 13 days in a row. Today was my only day off, and then I'm going back to work tomorrow for a few days, and then after that I'll be going on a week-long vacation in Mexico. So I'm very excited for that. A lot of stuff happening, but I will continue to keep up with our reaction videos. And again, I thank you so much for always being here and always being so understanding. That is it for us today. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for your time. Before you go, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you won't miss my next video. Until then, I will see you later.